Go find the bottle of drain opener sitting under your kitchen sink right now. I will wait. Turn it around and read the small print on the back, the part nobody reads standing in the aisle at the hardware store. It warns you about skin contact. It warns you to keep it away from aluminum. Several brands tell you flat out not to pour it into a line that is already completely blocked. Think about what that label is quietly admitting. The product you bought to rescue your plumbing ships with a written warning about what it does to whatever it touches. So why is it living in your cabinet? I am Mark Silverbridge. I have spent 35 years as a master plumber, and a good share of that was on my back under sinks in houses with water hard enough to leave a ring in a glass overnight. I want to talk about a cup of something that sits in the laundry aisle for about $4 or $5 a box. It tears a clog apart faster than that bottle does. It leaves your pipe completely alone. That combination sounds like a contradiction, and by the end of this you will understand the chemistry well enough to explain it to your neighbor over the fence. The stuff is washing soda. Sodium carbonate on the label. Not baking soda, which is the one everybody reaches for first, and not the same thing at all. Let me put the difference in plain terms, because this matters more than any other sentence in this video. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. It is mild. When you pour it down a drain with vinegar, you get a lot of fizzing, which looks like something is happening, and almost nothing useful actually is. The fizz is carbon dioxide gas escaping. Gas does not scrub grease. Washing soda is the same family of mineral, one step further along, and that one step takes it from mild to genuinely alkaline. Alkaline is just the opposite end of the scale from acidic. Lemon juice sits at the acid end. Ammonia and bleach sit at the alkaline end. Washing soda lands high on the alkaline side, somewhere around 11 on the pH scale, and 11 is where something very specific starts to happen to fat. Here is what is actually clogging your drain, and it is almost never what people picture. Homeowners imagine a solid plug of hair sitting in the pipe like a cork. That is not usually the situation. What you have is a layer of congealed grease coating the inside wall of the pipe, and stuck into that grease is everything else that ever went down. Hair, coffee grounds, soap scum, food particles, skin cells. The grease is the glue holding the whole mess together, and the mess narrows the pipe a little more every month until water stops moving. If you live somewhere with hard water, and a great many of you do, the situation is worse than that. Hard water simply means water carrying dissolved calcium and magnesium that it picked up from rock on the way to your house. Those minerals come out of solution when water sits still or gets heated, and they settle down into the grease layer like gravel setting into wet concrete. The film gets thicker, rougher, and much better at catching the next thing that comes down. That is why a house on a well or on municipal water in a limestone region will clog on a schedule, while the same family in a soft water town almost never thinks about drains at all. So the clog is a grease problem wearing a hair costume. Now the chemistry. When a strong alkali meets fat, it does not simply dissolve it the way water dissolves sugar. It rearranges the fat into a different molecule entirely. That reaction has a name that has been around for centuries, and the name is saponification. Sapo is the Latin word for soap. That is exactly what the reaction makes. The alkali breaks the fat apart and reassembles it as soap, which is water-soluble, meaning it will simply rinse away with the next hot flush. Read that again, because it is the whole trick. The washing soda is not blasting the clog loose or burning through it. It is converting the glue into soap and letting the soap wash itself down the line. Everything that grease was holding onto loses the grip it had and goes with it. That distinction matters for a practical reason. When you blast a clog loose with pressure or with a caustic that melts a channel through the middle, you have not removed the grease. You have moved it. It travels 20 feet down the line, hits a cooler section of pipe, and hardens right back up into a new clog somewhere less convenient. That is why so many people clear a sink in March and are standing over the same sink in June. Converting the grease to soap means there is nothing left downstream to harden back up. It leaves as soap and stays gone. All right. So it is violent toward the clog. Now the part the title promised, which is why the same chemical is completely uninterested in your pipe. Washing soda is a mineral salt. That is the entire answer. But let me earn it. Metal corrodes in two main ways in a drain line. Acid attack is the first one. Acid strips metal atom by atom, which is why acid-based openers pit the inside of a brass trap and eat the chrome off the outside of one if you slop it. Washing soda is nowhere near the acid end of the scale, so that entire failure mode is off the table. Neutral would already be good news. This sits clear over on the opposite side of the map from the chemistry that strips metal. The second way is heat and caustic attack together, and this is where the lye-based openers earn their reputation. Lye is sodium hydroxide. It is far stronger than washing soda, and when it hits standing water, it releases heat, not a little heat. I have measured trap temperatures north of 160 degrees on a heavy dose, and I have opened up P-traps where the water was still steaming 20 minutes later. That heat is the actual damage. PVC drain pipe is joined with solvent weld cement, which chemically softens the plastic at the joint so the two pieces fuse into one. That joint is strong at normal drain temperatures, and it starts to give up when you cook it repeatedly. Rubber gaskets and slip joint washers do not stand a chance. They go hard, they go brittle, and one day you open the cabinet and there is a slow drip that was not there last year. Nobody connects that drip to the bottle they poured 6 months earlier, but I have made that connection 100 times with a flashlight in my teeth. Washing soda in a cup of hot water does not do that. There is no exothermic reaction, which just means it does not generate heat of the making on the way down. The only warmth in the pipe is whatever you poured in behind it, and you are in control of that. Copper, PVC, ABS, brass, cast iron. I have used this in all of them, in houses built in the 20s and houses built 5 years ago, and I have never once pulled a section of pipe and found damage I could trace back to sodium carbonate at household strength. Quick pause here. What I just explained is one chapter of my book, 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes That Will Save You $10,000. It is 50 repairs written step by step, the kind you finish on a Saturday with tools already in your garage, plus the plain signals that tell you a quote is padded. The link in the description takes you there. So the cup is in your hand, and you are standing at the drain. Here is exactly what to do with it. 1 cup of washing soda goes into the drain opening. Not half a cup being careful, and not the whole box being thorough. A cup is the amount that gives you enough alkali to convert the grease film in a standard kitchen line without wasting product. Pour it dry, straight down, as close to the opening as you can get it. Then 2 to 3 quarts of very hot water goes in behind it, poured steadily rather than dumped. The water is doing 2 jobs. It is dissolving the crystals so the chemistry can actually reach the pipe wall, and it is carrying that solution down to where the grease is sitting. Pour too fast and most of it shoots past the problem. Pour it steady and it coats. Then you walk away for 30 minutes. That dwell time is the part everybody shortcuts, and shortcutting it is the single most common reason this fails for people. Saponification is not instant. The alkali has to sit against the grease and work through it layer by layer, the way a soaking pan gives up burnt food that scrubbing will not touch. 30 minutes of contact does more than 3 separate impatient attempts. Set a timer and go do something else. When the timer goes, run hot tap water down the line for a solid 2 minutes. You are flushing out the converted soap and everything it was holding. On a slow drain, you will usually hear the change before you see it, a sort of gulp as the line opens up and the water finally has room to move. For a badly built-up line, run the whole thing a second time. 1 cup, Hot water, 30 minutes, flush. I would rather you do 2 patient rounds than 1 aggressive one with double the product, because doubling the dose does not double the reaction. Contact time is what does the work, and a second round buys you another 30 minutes of it. Now, if your drain is not slow, but completely stopped, with water standing in the sink, the method changes, and this is where people go wrong. Do not pour washing soda into standing water. If you do, the crystals dissolve into that pool of cold water sitting in the basin and never reach the pipe wall where the grease actually is. You have made a weak cleaning solution in your sink instead of a working solution in your drain. Bail the water out first. A plastic cup and a bucket, 5 minutes of unglamorous work, and get it as close to empty as you can. Sponge the last inch out of the bottom if you have the patience. Now the cup of washing soda lands where it needs to land, and the hot water behind it arrives at full strength instead of already watered down. There is one more move for a stubborn full blockage, and the order matters. Do the dwell first and then plunge, never the other way around. The reason is simple mechanics. 30 minutes of alkali softens the grease binding the plug together, so the plug that was gripping the pipe wall is now loose and greasy instead of set. A plunger applied to a softened clog moves it. A plunger applied to a hardened one just compresses it tighter, which is why people plunge for 10 minutes, get nothing, and conclude the drain needs a professional. When you do plunge, seal it properly. Fill the basin with 2 or 3 inches of water so the plunger cup has something to push. And if you are working a double sink, stuff a wet rag hard into the other drain opening and hold it there. Without that, every push you make just sends air and water up through the second bowl, and none of your force reaches the clog. 10 firm strokes, then break the seal and check. That is usually all it takes. One more thing about kitchens specifically. If your sink has a garbage disposal, send the washing soda down the disposal side, because that is the side where grease concentrates. Food waste ground up fine and rinsed down with cold water is the finest grease delivery system ever installed in an American kitchen. And if a dishwasher drain hose ties into that same line, which it does in most houses, run the dishwasher empty on a hot cycle about an hour after you flush. That hot discharge scours the branch line the washing soda just softened, and you end up cleaning a length of pipe rather than the first few feet of it. Let me talk money, because this is where the arithmetic gets a little ridiculous. A box of washing soda runs about $4 or $5, and depending on the brand you are getting something in the neighborhood of a dozen cups out of it. Call it 50 cents a treatment. 2 rounds on a bad drain is $1. A drain service call in most of the country runs $150 to $250 for a straightforward kitchen line. If the technician has to run a cable, or the visit lands on a weekend, or you are in a metro market with higher rates, that number climbs. I have written up plenty of tickets in that range myself, and never felt great about the ones where the homeowner could have handled it with something already in the house. So the comparison is 50 cents against $200. And that is a real comparison, not a sales pitch. The honest version comes with a limit attached, and I will get to that limit in a minute, because a fix that only works sometimes is worth knowing the boundaries of. First, the safety, and there are 3 rules here that matter. Wear gloves. Washing soda at 11 on the pH scale is not going to send you to the emergency room, but it will strip the oil out of your skin, and if you have a cut on your hand, you are going to feel it. It is roughly as aggressive as oven cleaner in that respect. Basic dish gloves are plenty. Use hot tap water, not a rolling boil off the stove. This one gets ignored constantly, and it causes real damage. PVC drain line softens as it approaches boiling, and pouring a kettle straight down can distort a trap or stress a joint. Porcelain is worse. A cold sink basin hit with boiling water can develop a hairline crack, and a hairline crack in a fixture is a replacement, not a repair. Hot tap water is somewhere around 120 degrees, and that is plenty warm to dissolve the crystals and mobilize the grease. And the one that is genuinely dangerous: never put washing soda into a drain that already has a commercial chemical opener sitting in it. If you poured a bottle down there and it did not work, that caustic is still sitting in your trap. Adding anything on top of it can produce heat, splashback, or fumes, and you are leaning over the sink when it happens. If a commercial product is already in the line, the drain is out of bounds for everything else. Flush with cold water, give it time, and if the blockage is still there, call somebody rather than improvise. So when does this actually work, and when are you wasting your Saturday? It works on a drain that has gotten gradually slower over months. That pattern almost always means grease and film buildup, which is exactly what the chemistry addresses. It works on kitchen lines, which is where the grease lives. It works on bathroom sinks where soap scum and hair have knitted together. It works as a maintenance treatment on a line that is clogged before and you would like it to stop. It does not work on a mechanical obstruction. If a kid put a toothbrush down there, no chemistry on earth is going to help. It does not work on a root intrusion in a main line, which announces itself by backing up multiple fixtures at once rather than just one. And it does not work on a collapsed or bellied pipe, where a section has sagged and holds standing water permanently. The tell is the pattern. One fixture draining slowly is a local problem, and this is your first move. Multiple fixtures backing up at the same time, or a toilet bubbling when the washing machine drains, means the trouble is downstream in the main line, and you need a camera and a professional. Pouring anything down a single fixture at that point is throwing money at the wrong end of the house. And if you have run 2 full rounds correctly, with a proper dwell and a proper plunge and the line is still stopped, stop. You have learned something valuable, which is that this is not a grease clog. That is worth the $1 it cost you to find out. One more thing worth having, and it is the reason I almost never see repeat clogs in houses where somebody actually listens to me. Once the line is clear, put half a cup of washing soda down the drain on the 1st of every month, chase it with hot water, and go to bed. No dwell, no plunge, nothing else. Grease does not build up in a night. It builds up as a film that thickens week by week, and a monthly alkaline rinse strips that film while it is still soft enough to leave without a fight. It is the difference between wiping a stovetop after dinner and chiseling it in the spring. I have handed that habit to hundreds of homeowners over the years, and the ones who kept it up stopped calling me about drains entirely. That is a strange thing for a plumber to be proud of, and I am proud of it anyway. One last thing before you go. That book, 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes That Will Save You, $10,000, is built for the problems you have not met yet, the small ones that become 4-figure repairs. The link in the description has it. And subscribe to the Mark Silverbridge channel, where I keep giving away the fixes that keep your money in your pocket instead of mine.